Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Right. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well. Salutations to the Akim and the Four Winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking their lives more now than ever. The hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwaf, listening and learning, and silence under your husband or spiritual leader. Yeah, this your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. And basically biblical prophecy is being fulfilled all over the world. Via through this digital reset, right? This jubilee that they want to have, and due to the elites' jubilee that they want to have, this is what's going on.
Lanka today, and this is the Dutch farmers and truckers today. The government is escalating all over the world. And the first one who have pointed out the most wanted globalists are the Swiss people. These wanted people have caused problems in Sri Lanka, the Netherlands, and many other countries. The poster is still there on the street of Zurich, Switzerland. So far, this is what's happening in the Netherlands and around the world every weekend. The Dutch truckers have answered the farmers' call for help, and together they're blocking many roads and highways in the Netherlands. The Dutch and German farmers have blocked both sides of the highway connecting Germany and the Netherlands. Just now, the Australian farmers also rise up in Victoria. Millions of Italians have been celebrating over the resignation of their prime minister for days, but there is not any news from the biased mainstream media. Remember when the Dutch farmers spray manure into government buildings? The European media was silent, not any report from BBC, nor any news outlet. On Saturday, the Spanish farmers began protesting at many locations. In the Netherlands, more and more fire help are displaying along highways and on the fields. And to answer that call, more groups of firefighters, fishermen, and truckers are taking the street to show support for the Dutch farmers. Together, they are forming convoys with a message. The protest will continue. We have the support of millions of people. There will be actions the Netherlands have never seen before. Thank you so much for watching and see you later.
I'm about to cash this check for $50,000 for an accident I was involved in over 5 months.
19, the burden of Egypt, right, which is mostly dealing with America, but this whole world, because Esau's been ruling, is under that vibration of the old Egypt. All these different holidays and different things that they attend to, the witchcraft and all these different things, the lies, you know what I'm saying? So behold, which means look, feast your eyes, look, pay attention, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, which is going to be a chariot, which the whole world is going to see, which the Lord is coming from where? The east, right? The Middle East, right, where he's drawing them into the valley of Jehoshaphat, or the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for judgment. And shall come into Egypt, right, which the whole world is under Egypt's vibration, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of the Egypt shall melt in the midst of it, and I will set an Egyptian against Egyptian. So you got these countries and these nations against the poor, against the rich, and you got these elites against each other of figuring how to bring in the NWO, right? Because they're at odds with each other, and they shall fight against everyone against his brother, right? Because Esau is brothers, but then a lot of you people are brothers in wickedness, right? And everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
Porque ya no aguantamos más en este país.
Los políticos son los ladrones más grandes que pueden haber en la asamblea, pero en parte también la culpa la tenemos el pueblo, que seguimos poniendo estafadores, sinvergüenzas, mentirosos. Eso es lo que ellos son. Mientras ellos están comiendo jamón, el pueblo se está comiendo un cable.
Viewers, Tony has family down in Panama, and he is giving us kind of updates on what's going on there on the ground in Panama. This insider is giving us word on what's going on right now. Schools are all closing, and as of today, this morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 1 hour from when this video actually drops, Panama City is actually going to close up. No movement allowed. Not allowed to leave your home or the building that you're in. You are required to stay there. They are putting full martial law down on the entire country. These are the democratically elected government is being threatened with mobs and people out in the streets wanting to overthrow the government, demanding that the government institute food, gas, and other price controls. Basically, move away from being a free market economy into being a full-on communist system. And the regular people behind that are behind it. We see this movement to unseat the democratically elected government that is pro-Western United States and democracy, and they want to replace it with communist systems that are more pro-Cuba, pro-Venezuela. They want to try communism because it has worked so well everywhere else. Schools are closed as teachers have taken to the streets. Other unions have taken to the streets, but this is being organized and pushed by their socialism parties that are unhappy with how elections work, and they want to overthrow the government with force. Politicians are...
2 Esdras chapter 15 verse 13, and they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and feel for constellation, right? Constellation is what your reward, the Lord, well, let's go into it. Woe, which means destruction, weeping, gnashing of teeth, right? To the world, right? Punishment, right? from the Most High to the world and them that dwell therein. So the consolation is the sins of the world, and you're going to be fighting against your neighbor, the elite against the poor, rioting for food, all different things. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. And the modern day sword is the gun, or whatever you can get your hand on, because pretty soon, they've only allowed you to have so many bullets, and when you run out of bullets, you're gonna have to use what you can use. You're gonna have to go back to that the ancient way of killing someone, which will actually be a sword. Yeah, so 2nd Esdras 15 verse 16, for there shall be sedition amongst men, right? And you see them going to war against their own government and invading one another, right? And they're looking for their so-called politicians and different things to give them a piece of their mind. And we're not talking about just speaking words. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their actions shall stand in their power, right? And it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, right? Martial law. They're going to lock it down everywhere. Right? And the crazy thing about this is these are things that the elders have been speaking for years, and the brothers after them have been speaking, and now it's more clear than ever. It's right there in front of you now. And in a lot of you people, you still deny it. Right? Because of their pride, right? And that's what it is, your pride. Cities shall be troubled, right? Because you should have been protecting yourself and guard, and then taking the heed to the warnings of the men of the Lord, right? And shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So even grown men are going to be afraid. Your tough guy is going to be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, which the modern day sword is a gun, and spoil their goods, which means steal their water, their food, any thing, worth for survival, because of the lack of bread, right? And we just, say Ukraine is the breadbasket of the world, and they're going to lock down the whole entire world. And for great tribulation, so everybody's is going to be tested. That's why the Lord said, woe unto the world, the entire world.
Wildfires across southern Europe and parts of North Africa. In France, thousands of people have been forced to evacuate fires that have scorched over 27,000 acres. Meanwhile, the governments of Spain and Portugal said hundreds of people died from heat-related causes during the second week of July. In Britain, the government's issued its first ever red severe temperature warning, with forecasters predicting highs with top 40 degrees Celsius or 105 degrees Fahrenheit for the first time ever. This is Tracy Nichols, Chief Executive of the College of Paramedics.
We could see people particularly who are vulnerable, young people, elderly, frail people, people living with dementia, who really do suffer. This isn't like a lovely hot day where we can put a bit of sunscreen on and go out and enjoy, a swim and a meal outside. This is serious heat that could actually ultimately end in people's death, because it is so ferocious, and we're just not set up for that sort of heat in this country.
President Biden's conceded defeat in his efforts to pass legislation tackling the climate crisis while raising taxes on wealthy corporations and individuals. This comes after West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin walked away from negotiations over a scaled-back package of Biden's tax and climate initiatives. Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders said Manchin was never serious about advancing Biden's climate agenda. He spoke to ABC Sunday.
To the preparedness game. I hope you're getting your survival ducks in a row for what is coming ahead, the hard times that are coming for all of us on the planet, whether you're in the UK or other parts of Europe, Russia, Africa, South America, California, where the water is drying up. It doesn't really matter, okay, because we're all going to get our own little taste of SHTF in the not-so-distant future. Now, what is going on today? Well, today was a day of extremes. On the one hand, you have the tarmac melting in the UK. They are sweltering under record temperatures that they've never seen before. 40 degrees Celsius might not seem like a lot to some people, especially people in Iran who are enduring plus 52 today. That didn't make the news. But Amber Alert declared in the UK simply because their infrastructure is not built for that sort of thing. This is a temperate climate.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 17. Woe, which is woe, weeping, gnashing of teeth, right? You know, destruction. You know, woe is me, right? Destruction, you know, is just saying you're gonna die. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Talking about these last days, the time that we're in now, because Ezra had the vision of right now, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine, and that's where we're at right now, because they're in Ukraine, which is supposed to be the breadbasket of the world. A lot of the world's wheat comes from there. So literally the bread, and you in the beginning of famine and great death, right? And that it started with that that pandemic had great death to it, right? So something was real. And definitely the real thing was people died. But the beginning of wars, right? And we're at the beginning of a war because of the Russia and Ukraine. But it's going into a lot of other different proxy wars. And then they found that gold in Africa. So there's a lot of things for them to fight for. And the Lord's going to bring them to the valley of Yehoshaphat, right? The beginning of evils, right? What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine, plague, tribulation, anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, man. That's for you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians to get yourself right. Give you a chance to repent. And of course, you know, it's Matthew 24, you know, the classic. Because, you know, this is the time, you know, where we're at. We're really living this. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed, which means pay attention, that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name. You know, basically saying they're Hamashiach, or they're, you know, they're down with the true Israelites, the true Hebrew Israelites. And then they'll turn around and say that they're, you know, they're not a part of that cult. Or they're the black Hebrew Israelites on some nonsense. Say, I am Hamashiachim, right? Saying that you know, you're down with Hamashiach, down with the cause, and shall deceive many. And you're not really down with the cause. And ye shall hear of wars, right? And that's where we're at now, because we I don't know if everybody's seen, but a lot of us seen the so-called soldiers that were pretending to be dead, and one guy was popped up while they're filming the news, and he was laying under the black little tarp thing, whatever they put over the dead bodies. He pops up why the news is going so, but that's all conspiracy theory. And shall deceive many, and ye shall hear of wars. Right, we're hearing that there's a war and rumors of wars. Yep. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So the Lord is saying, the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, right? And that's what's happening. And there shall be what? Famines, pestilence. So we're having that, earthquakes in diverse places. And all these are the what? Beginning of sorrows, just like the Lord said. And I'm just skip down to here because it says, just skip down to 12 and Matthew 24:12. And because of iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So we're going through that time right now. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, right? You Israelites who's in this truth, in this walk of faith, it's time to rejoice because what? The Messiah is on his way and we're closer to being home. And ye that dwell in them, right? Dealing with the 1/3, the 144,000 and the 1/3. But woe to the inhabitants of the earth. Hey, it's gonna be woe unto the rest of you people that's on this earth. Weeping and gnashing of teeth, destruction to the rest of you that are on earth. And the earth is another way of saying world, right? And the sea, and sea's dealing with the people. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he haveth but a short time. And that's going into that martial law, which everybody is going to have that martial law. But the main devil that's coming down with great wrath is Esau, Edom, right? Because that's what it's going into. And when the dragon, which is Rome, right? And we're in the second leg of Rome, saw that he was cast out of the earth, right? Because even his allies are going to go against him. Why? Because they're speaking about it. Russia is going to cut off their gas. And are they going to stick to trying to defend that whore, which is America, Babylon the Great, spiritually Nineveh, spiritually Egypt, spiritually Sodom, right? Spiritually Egypt. Is they going to protect keep protecting America? No. Especially when they ain't got no heat. And Russia cuts off that oil, that natural gas or whatever it is, right? So it says, and the dragon saw that he was cast out of the earth, right? And no one's going to want Esau, Edom in the earth no more. And he persecuted the woman, which is Israel, which brought forth the man-child, which is Yahushai, right? And so this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods, right? Your food, whatever you have. Like I said, it should be sedition amongst men for the lack of bread, right? Evading one another for that lack of bread, right? Taking their goods and casting them out of their houses, right? Because, maybe they want the shelter or they just don't want you to have a house, however it may be. Then shall they be known, right? And that's ultimately what we're hoping for, that we be the ones that are known, who are my chosen, right? That elect, right? Yasha Allah, but mostly what that elect within the elect, right? Of Yasha Allah, right? And they shall be tried as what? Gold in the fire, right? So we all got to go through it. Hear ye, my beloved, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, behold, which means look, feast your eyes, look, pay attention, in the days of trouble, which we're coming to, are at hand, and yes, they're at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. And that's ultimately what we're looking for. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is your guide, and the guide of them who keepeth my commandments, right, which dealing with the Most High, and precepts, right, and that's ultimately what we're doing, man. Precept upon precept, line upon line. Saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. So call Loyum Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim and the Four Winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking their lives more now than ever. The hopeful elect, the elect. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwafium, who listen and learn in silence under your husband or your spiritual leader. And shalom, death to America.